jump into detail.
Academy, Francis Willett, president of VAPA. We have an intimate group, but hopefully the folks online are able to work with us. Alexei Sotskov, our director of athletics, and he's going to talk to us about preparing for athletics next year. And thank Alexei for taking a Saturday morning and taking the first shot at this. So, Alexei, welcome, and thank you for helping us out.
First of all, Francis, I want to tell you that I was very pleased to hear about this opportunity. And I think it's very important to just to share, just at least let people know that we do care. And I'll tell in my very formal presentation why. But from the administrator point and from working with the athletic department, I think it's very critical to at least give some tools. I'm not going to go into like what to do and but to understand the idea behind like why precision at the point. If I'm if I'm a hockey player, I should play hockey all the time, and that's it. That will make me a better athlete and a happier student. And it's very often not particularly true. So, as a matter of fact, in my experience, to be a professional sport for a lot of years, it's never true. So there are some, I was flying from Europe in March, and I was looking this documentary about Wayne Gretzky and a couple other world famous, the most famous athletes, and they say like about determination and commitment to the sport. And at the same time, they did some different sports. Because in my experience, working with younger people particularly, the danger of get burned out, and the danger is probably most often is the danger of get injured from doing the same drills, same sport all the time. It's just too great. And as much as we parents believe that our child is unique, and if I push this child to this and that, he or she will be able to reach, the highest potentials. And it's cannot put everything in one basket, like putting all the eggs in one basket. It's a little bit, it's never. So again, speaking of myself, my wife and I work at Vermont Academy since 2002. Our son graduated from this school in 2005. He won junior national championship when he was a student here as a Nordic skier, but at the same time, he still skied, but he also played tennis. He also participated in band. He played saxophone here. This is the school where he learned and kind of got involved with hiking, with outdoor activities, and that's what he does. He lives right now in Seattle, and he's hiking right now. I know that for the fact. I mean, it's 9 o'clock, so he will be hiking at 8 o'clock local time, because he said yesterday was just too hot, which is not the case here anymore. But the reason why I say, he started to play tennis here, and you say like, if you're Nordic skier, and he went to Dartmouth College, and he wasn't recruited. Dartmouth College doesn't recruit, but he got admitted. When he was a student here, you might say like, well, you aspire to be a ski team member, and you just have to either run cross country or ski, right? And I think tennis made a great impact on his development as an athlete and development as a person, because it taught him how to take defeat, because he was not a great tennis player. He was a solid JV player, and then at the senior year, he was a solid number 3 double. But he does play tennis right now, and that's what opens up a lot of doors for him. He works for a Boeing company as one of the managers there, and hey, you never know. You never know. So, but that's basically a little bit of a story about myself and my family. In terms of athletics, 3 important terms to understand: endurance, speed, and agility. Every sport, regardless of nature of the sport, unless it's chess, which is questionable whether it's a sport or not, or car racing, you have to pay attention to these 3 parts of the athletic development. And that's what is endurance is basically, in simple words, it's ability to exercise and be, doing something for a prolonged period of time, and what the oxygen, what you're consuming, supply enough fuel for the muscles to perform this. So it's kind of like what we call endurance training, aerobic training, when the oxygen, you're not in deficit of oxygen. So speed is, you can call it, how fast you are. And speed very often associated with strength. It's like, if you remember when I was in the team, and, Nordic combined, it's ski jumping and cross-country ski, and ski jumping is very quick. You have to be very fast. But I remember we had training camps with our weightlifting team, and they were so much quicker than us. It was crazy. They were heavy, big guys, but for the vertical jump, they just That was our bread and butter, like vertical jump, or ski jumping. That's what we were training day and night, like year round for many years. They were so much faster, quicker and better. They could do. So you want to be quicker, do strength. That's basically, because without one or another, you cannot do it. And the third element is agility, is ability to basically to maintain proper technique. You have to be flexible, you have to be, without technique, doesn't matter what you, without agility, you cannot be an effective player, effective athlete in the sport, what you're performing at, what's your main sport, or not necessarily main sport, any sport. Exercises for endurance, very basic, cycling, hiking, running, swimming, exercise for speed. As I said, it's basically weightlifting. That's exercise for speed as much as for strength. And all sorts of drills, with performing at the highest RPM, if I can use this term. And exercise for agility, it's a tricky one, it depends on what you have. It's like eye hand coordination and these things. Like I'm coaching tennis right now, just bouncing ball on the racket and try to move and try to create a little bit more restricted environment and still performing loose and fluid motion, that will do agility. The most practical exercise here is some sort of like a stepping, on the ladder and stepping into the certain point. Works great. And that's definitely a good way to improve your agility. But again, agility is a tool to improve your performance in terms of technique. That's for sure. Then I want to read a little bit from my presentation and say why is preseason and what is preseason. Preseason strength and conditioning program prepare athletes for their upcoming season. In particular, building a strength foundation is important for improving skills, preventing future injuries, and quickly enhancing overall fitness. In the off season, athletes are resting mentally and physically, recharge for another year of competition. Although preseason strength and conditioning is challenging, it helps athletes transition into high-intensity training and keep them strong throughout the competition season. So there are 3 seasons in a yearly cycle. It's off season, preseason, and competition season. The challenge is what we face here at Vermont Academy. We are promoting three sports, 3 season athletes. And this is where some difficulties we're experiencing, because where is the limit? Where is to say, it's very simple for let's say for the full sport. If you're a soccer player, fantastic, like off season, spring, I suppose, maybe June, preseason, July, August, you come in, boom, you're all good. You can write a very precise plan because it's on vacation over the summer. And but then it's kind of like hockey players, basketball players. They come here and they getting into this routine where there's no free time, and we try to occupy that's because that's what our customers, your parents, asking us to make sure they visit. Otherwise, they will get in trouble. Can't do anything about this. That's a part of parenting, keep them occupied. And that's what we do. I believe we're doing very well. And then the season comes, let's say if you basketball or hockey player, and every coach comes to me and say that's a difficult day off. And you're like, what do you mean? They cannot keep up with the teammates. And the other biggest and major problem is the injuries. At the very beginning of the season, for every season, whether it's fall, winter, or spring, beginning of the season, the injury spikes. Our trainers are super busy, and they feel like, well, they're not ready. So for us, For me, the major task is to make sure that at least you're aware of this. Have no doubts, have no false, if you believe that doing just what sport? Hockey. If you're just doing hockey year round, and then the season comes, and our hockey season is very intense. We're playing 30 games, varsity 20 plus games on GB level. There is very little time to do just general strength and conditioning. And this is what the injury credit. I will tell you an anecdote once. I was in New Zealand right before 2010 Olympic Games that season, upcoming. And I was asked by some ski company to interview a couple national team coaches with what their expectations, what their goals. And in 2010 in Vancouver, one of the surprisingly successful team was Canadian team across the board. I think they ended up second overall or third, and was like any sport, like, oh, where'd this come from? Where'd this come from? And I was interviewing the head coach, who is a good friend of mine in Nordic ski, and I said, "What's your goal?" He says, "Well, Alexei, you want to hear? I can give you a fake speech, or I can tell you the truth." And I said, "Well, tell me the truth." He said, "Like my goal, not to lose the focus that I have to do strength and conditioning training twice a week throughout the season." Isn't it crazy for the Olympic team coach telling me that that's his goal? And I said, what do you mean? And he says, well, what do I mean? You know no less than I how easy to fall during the season into this pattern that as long as I'm winning next game, I'm good. And just say, I just missed this pass. If I work on this pass in hockey, or if I work on this stride in ski, and just a little bit, one more interval session, and I'll be all set. And he says, during this, we're losing the content that we have to maintain strength and conditioning. We have to maintain core strength. We have to maintain this. And sure enough, his team was performed unbelievably well. And I was in Vancouver, privileged to work there, coach there. And I remember I was standing next to him at one of the hills at one of the races, and I was like, "Man, Justin, that was so cool that you told me." So yep, it worked. And he was smiling, and it was just so for us, going back to our environment, what is important not to lose this connection. In order to stay in shape, you have to prepare all these three components. You have to work on the core strength, because if you don't have a core, you cannot perform. You will get injured. You will. It's just a matter of time when. If you don't have enough core, because every exercise athletic is going around the core exercise, around the core strength. So you cannot forget about the endurance training, because otherwise, again, you will be out of shape. And what is critical is not to lose this understanding that you have to work outside a little bit of the normal routine. Whether it's more during preseason and less during the season, but you still have to. And if you don't, then you just simply mistaken. And be conservative in terms of increasing the load of training. So there were many studies, and I was using a study. I forget who is this. I think it's some Spanish scientists, who are using, let's say, the most effective is 10%. So if you have a plan for a week, let's say, and you get to run, we're working on endurance, If you're running 2 miles, run 2.2 miles next to it. If you run 5 miles, just increasing 10% per week, but don't go over because otherwise you might run in trouble doing this. And if you completely notice to this, but always little steps, not to go crazy and say like, okay, I decide today I will do, let's run marathon. Absolutely worst idea to jump up and run marathon and prove that you are feeling like knee injury, ankle injury, and that's just not fun experience.
How can a parent or a student lay out this plan if they don't have a coach? So,
Do you have to work on that in here?
coach at a primary sport or secondary sport, will their coaches give them that recommended plan as for them to look back? And I think that's what a lot of parents have asked is that, when my son or daughter leaves here, we have our normal routine that we do, but these coaches know these kids well, and you guys know the training.
This is,
So,
this is absolutely excellent question. And I can tell you that very often we, as coaches, overestimate ourselves. And that's my experience. I can tell you that any plan is better than no plan. And very often, from my experience, to be administrator here, I will tell you a very simple example. I was working on a coach's manual and how to get coaches be bought in. You know what? I said, well, okay, I'll just ask them to write a section of this coach's manual. And Brian Delory, and I know he's fantastic in terms of running practices. And I said, can you help me to write a manual how to create a plan for running a practice? And he did. I asked Eddie Edwards, your soccer coach, can you write me a plan how to maintain this cheering and positive attitude with the team? And she did. And I asked Alex Pope how, just how to recruit, how to stay connected with college coaches. And he did. And so forth and so on. The idea is if you just getting a plan from your coach, do this, do that, do that, do that. Here we go. This is your plan. Make sure you do it. 90% won't work. What you do, in my experience, Francis, let's talk. What's your goal? What do you think you should do in order to get better? I felt a little bit, for the third period, you were a little bit fatigued, don't you think? Remember that game against St. Paul's? You could just, like, coach, can I just sit extra shift, I don't want to. And ultimately you pushing a student to say like, hey, you probably would be helpful if you work a little bit on endurance. Probably would be helpful if you do a little bit work on the speed, because remember those kids were a little bit faster, they're just asking you. Or if you go in maybe quickness, maybe a little bit agility. So any plan should be written with coaches, and I know our coach is fantastic on this. But I also would encourage parents to talk to their kids and say, like, have you talked to your coach? Have you discussed what you need to do? At that point, the plan won't be like a standard plan, written for anyone in the team. And so that's what initiative should come from that. I feel very strongly, because then the kids will say, that's my plan. It's not, they will get it right away. It's my plan, it's what designed for me. If you just give them general plan, it might work for some, no doubt, but it won't work for most. So how to motivate kids, that's another one. Plan is great. How to make sure they do something, right? Because that's the biggest. I can tell you that in my experience, if you create, and I know our coaches do this, like ask your kids to be connected with their teammates. What do? Oh, I went for a run. Okay, well, I probably should go, right? Because if Johnny went, I don't want to be not as prepared as Johnny. So I will go. I don't want to embarrass my team. So that's another thing. Just ask them to ask what the other kids do in terms of. So that's another tool that you as a parents can do it very easily. And also, the most effective for me when I was in this age, believe it or not, I wasn't. For me was training log. You know, if you keep training log, then because we all want to, and if we make commitment, we all want to keep those commitments, regardless of age. And I treat all our athletes at least as a young adults, not just little kids with no. I mean, they're smart. They know what they're doing. They're very clever. But if you ask them to keep training, and maybe once in a while, as parents, you can ask like, hey, show me, what did you do? You know, not in demanding way, but just let's see. And again, I'll speak for myself. There was the most embarrassing moments when I was showing this to my father, and say I only did 2 practice sessions. In my mind, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I just missed yesterday because I had a birthday party for my friend, you know, or something. But like, oh, that's a huge motivation tool, you know, just to keep, it's indirect, but it's very effective. Um, so that's how to motivate, you know, stay connected with the teammates, have a plan, and make sure that it's you, the student should contact coach for the plan, not plans coming from the coaches, not particularly effective. So it's both. It should be created on both sides. And the training role. That's what is very critical. And it's easy, and it's again, it's not on demanding way. You can encourage basically your child to stay more active.
What's your feelings on the role of diet?
Uh, That's very, very important. As a matter of fact, you know, I asked Skylar Snyder to come up with a little bit of handout, and this is what she said, that it's one of the fundamentals is, you know, having enough sleep, schedule workouts, and balanced diet. And I have this handout with a sample of the diet ideas. You know, it's what is breakfast, lunch, and dinner could be. And hydration is another one because, you know, summer here is pretty hot. I will be honest with you, you know, it was one of the biggest eye openers for me because I came from St. Petersburg, you know, 30 years ago, but still, you know, somehow in my mind, summer is not particularly hot. And I know that I'm not that good in hydration, you know, and one of the biggest, you know, people ask me, what the difference between Russia and US, you know, and I always say like, well, there are 2 things, you know, difference. It's one, when you're talking about skiing, you say, I'm a skier. In Russia, everyone will understand that you're Nordic skier. In US, everyone will understand that you're alpine skier. That's number 1 major difference. And number 2, in US, all athletes are drinking 5 times more water. And I think it's common to, you know, spreading it. I think that's an advantage of US culture, athletic culture, to drink water. It's definitely a good thing because I actually ended up in hospital once when I was 18 years old because now I understand because I wasn't drinking enough water. So during practice and stuff. So you can have this. I don't. Great.
Yeah, send it up to the parents.
Yeah. We can put it on our website as a.
Yeah, I think that's the, you know, for folks that couldn't attend, we're obviously going to put out, you know, where they can go over the summer for more information. And then as we have more things coming out from the athletics department, you know, preparing for next next year. I mean, that's the goal, as you know. This is a multi-year commitment for many families, so we want to make sure that we get the word out. So Lexi, for the next year, you're obviously having a crystal ball into VA next year. What are the things you're most excited about that's coming up for next year?
You know what? Let me
Okay.
go a little closer. Yesterday we played KUA girls lacrosse.
Yeah.
And there was at the community lunch, Carly Fox was showing me cards and said like whether we're going to win the game or not. And we were, I think, according to the cards, we were supposed to lose a lot. And I said like, well, I don't set that prediction. I think we can win. And man, what a game it was. It was a fantastic game. We lost 13-12 on the last minute. It was such a fun game. I don't know. I think we're set to be competitive in the Lakes region. I'm excited. I'm excited about several sports. But to say, it's difficult for me. Very often, I'm struggling with how to define success in athletics. How to define, and is this just wins and losses? And time after time, it proves to be not particularly good indicator. I can tell you, I'm coaching tennis right now, and in the past, we had fairly competitive games with Husak School in tennis first. We went this year, and we won every single match. We won 7-0, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And then we went to St. Paul's and we lost with the same score. How do you do? What is the success? And for me, I always say to my kids, because in this environment, 1 year could go up, another year could go down, and it's not. I don't want to play against opponents.
Mhm.
I want to set parameters when you guys play for yourself. Enjoy. I hate to, although I'm using it, but I hate to use the word we're playing against KUA. I hate to use we're playing against St. Paul's School.
Mhm.
I think we should use we play with, right?
Right.
And we play, and we want to be, the best. What we do, let's focus on us. How can we improve our game? How we can be better? Again, you never know how to define success of athletic program here. I starting, and maybe it's sentimental, I don't know. But every year I go to 2-3 weddings, and I say, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. That's success. I think. I went to Easter High School Championship this spring in Nordic skiing, where the teams from New England schools and a couple teams from Midwest coming and competing for the title. And I look around and like, oh man, because 2 coaches in every state were my former athletes. That's pretty cool, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's very cool. A couple days ago, I'm getting on the Facebook page, Coach, I just submitted from Jimmy Lumley, a student from Middlebury, current student, graduated from VA 3 years ago. He's a senior at Middlebury. And he goes like, I just submitted my thesis for Wish Me Luck. I felt very good. You know what? He didn't have to send me.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's, like how to bring these kids to your side and say like, look, I know it will happen. I know this. Again, and I can speak from wherever, it's like from any angle. Will everyone get to Olympic Games? No. It's reality. Will everyone make NBA? No. Does it mean that I don't want them to make? Not at all. I want them to. But what is the goal? Like how can you convert a child to enjoy, to be active, to be active. And I know it's a big word and very often overused it, like how to be active. member of society, and community. How we can make sure that when they are, particularly after college, because I just happened to go through this, how they go hiking versus go to bar. How can they call a friend and say like, hey, why don't we play tennis? Why don't we go for a jog or hike? And so that type of stuff, that's, I think, it's a big challenge. There is no simple solution for this. There is no simple, like, one, uh, one drill fits all, but that's what I'm trying to promote, how to set this relationship, what I call fun number two, when it's difficult to accomplish this, you have to set challenging goals. If the team is not setting challenging goals, it looks cool for a couple of days, and then you lose the team. And if you set the challenging goals, if you practice as a challenge, if you challenge your kid and say like, hey, motivate them, then it's a successful coaching. And from my role, I see this, how can I motivate coaches to do the same, so basically that's.
Do you have any other questions or?
Mary?
No.
No, I mean, you were hitting it, the diet, the exercise, and I mean, one thing I know just from the hockey world, with regards to hitting some of the things like agility and even strengthening and even endurance for that matter, is using some of the martial arts like yoga and taekwondo and these other things as.
Fantastic.
So,
You just right on the money there. Absolutely. As you, again, that's a territory where I'm not particularly professional in,
mhm,
but I absolutely yoga, martial arts. That's about it's to bring, associate your movement with breathing.
Right.
So every movement in yoga and martial art coming from what? Coming from the center of your body weight, from the core, right? And it's the same. Again, I remember my nephew played for Middlebury College in hockey, and he came and spent months with us in New Hampshire. And I said, like, look, you cannot score because you will be touched and you will fall down because you have no core. And what we did, just splitting wood, fantastic for the core exercise. Any drills, and you can be creative. I don't have to tell you what to do, like any twisting with the weights, it works. Medicine ball is one of the best invention on the athletic world, I believe. Anything will work, and martial arts particularly, I very much would encourage young athletes to do this because it means it teaches connection between mind and the body. And again, everything goes in martial arts, as far as I know, as little I know, it's coming from the core. And when I was in college, I studied sports science and stuff. Everything comes from the core. If you don't have a core, you just mistake. If you think that you can accomplish something.
Alexi, thank you. We'll put the documents that you passed out here out on the website, and obviously parents can go to the parents portion of the Vermont Academy website and go to athletics, and you'll see your contact information if they have questions on athletics at VA. And obviously, if parents have questions, they can reach out to their advisors and coaches.
I would be very happy, but again, what to do is communicate with the coach, signing up for the sport specific. If your preference in hockey, soccer, basketball, sign up for camp.
Yeah.
Camps are good, and camps are good. I strongly believe that every parent who can afford to send a child here, smart parent, because otherwise you won't be able to. And what do you do when you go to the doctor? You say, like, I probably should have second opinion, right? You very much, you have the best doctor, but you always say that maybe it's good to have a second opinion. That's why I'm encouraging people to go and sign up for the camp. What you will learn there, you will learn second opinion. what the new drill? What is their view? Because we all, as a coaches, and I'm part of that, with whatever experience I have, I only can see a child from one set of eyes. The second set of eyes is always helpful. So sign up for the camp, go outside, do something else. Again, I was a member of junior national team in Nordic combined in Russia, and my favorite sport at that time was water skiing. Believe it or not. Water skiing, yes, it's on skis, but has very little to do with ski jumping or cross-country skiing. So, but I worked on, something else, and you have to set your mind a little bit away from one sport. 3 sports is fantastic, and motivate your kids to do some be active. That's the most important.
Thank you, Lexi, appreciate it. Thanks to
Thank
the
you.
parents that came, and we'll see you folks soon. Thank you.
So did I?
That was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, thank
What
you
what
so
was
much.
what was interesting, again, doing